Alright everybody, so Cursed Hollow game number 1, Murloc Geniuses versus 2ARC, and we have an Abathur ban as the first ban here, so that leaves again this decision between banning out Tyrande or Kel'Thas, and it is a Tyrande ban. We've seen a lot of Zagaras first here today, even before a Kel'Thas, which is actually quite interesting to see that. North American servers trying to prioritize her a lot, and that is happening again. So Zagara is being played first, which allows the Murloc Geniuses to go into Kel'Thas if they really want him. It's still one of those servers where you see Kel'Thas sometimes not taken early on in the draft. Like we could, for example, see an earlier Jaina here. That's also true because Zagara combos a bit better with Jaina than she combos with Kel'Thas. So a lot of the teams actually decide to go into a ban, also not a ban, like a pick on Jaina over Kel'Thas to take it away. So we could see that happening for the Murloc Geniuses. But there's quite a lot of things that they can do here. Uther and ETC are a great combo, and it's even better if you have a Zagara in your lineup too. So Murloc Geniuses definitely they have to ask themselves right now, what do we want? Do we want to have that Muradin? Do we want to have that ETC instead? And they go for the same approach that we've seen in one of the last games. They take ETC, and because they want to break up that Uther and ETC comp that is possible for 2ARC, who are very likely to go into Muradin now, and they themselves go into Kel'Thas. So a Jaina plus a Muradin would be a very solid opening now for Team 2ARC. There's the Muradin. Are we going to see the Jaina? That's the biggest question. We could still see that Uther. If they don't take Uther, they have to ban him out, of course, because, well, the next two picks would be for the Murloc Geniuses, and if you have an ETC against you, you don't really want to give him that Uther, at least not in the second pick. They go for the Jaina, as predicted, so now they have to kind of ban out the Uther. And, well, with the Murloc Geniuses, when we're talking about the bans here, this is really one of these situations where we could see ban on even Malfurion. But it is a Sylvanas instead. Malfurion with the root combos very well with the Maw. That same is true for Sylvanas. If you watched the last game, we talked about this quite a bit, I feel. Right now, though, we're having a situation where an Uther ban is, I feel, kind of mandatory. I mean, you can argue, of course, about a couple of other heroes as well. You could ban Tassadar, you could go into a couple of other heroes that would be worth banning. But still, personally, that ETC Moshpit with the Divine Shield would scare me. And they make it happen. They ban out Uther, so the Murloc Geniuses, that's just really where they can start to branch out quite a bit. We have Arena available, which is very strong. Tassadar can be played here. It's also great to, of course, limit the vision that Zagara is going to get with her creep tumors. That being said, other hero that would be very strong here too is that Falstad. We've been talking about it a lot. He has been picked a lot more in the North American scene just recently. Not quite on the same level as he's being picked in Europe right now. China sometimes even disregarding the hero entirely. But on Cursed Hollow, this is probably one of the best maps for him, since you can also try to steal one of the bosses with a Mighty Gust if you get into a decent position with him while that happens. So there's a couple of things that really work out here. Reyna taken for the Hyperion zoning and for his damage that he has as well. Now, for me personally, the question, do we see a Tassadar? Rhaegar first. So Rhaegar for the heals. Since 2ARC doesn't have a healer yet either, Murloc Genius has just said, guys, let's be safe, take our healer first and then leave them the pickings. So 2ARC could play this with, I mean, they could go into a Sonya, for example, together with a Charism if they wanted to. They could head into a Tassadar themselves here. They have the option to go for the Malfurion still, which I think is likely since it is a North American scene. If this was a different server, I would argue for a few other heroes, but in North America, Malfurion is very, very popular, together with that Zagara in particular, and also against that Kel'Thas. So I kind of feel we're going to see a Malfurion here for them, and we could see Malfurion Tassadar, we could see only the Malfurion with a bit more damage even. You could head into something like what we already talked before. Could, for example, add that Falstad to your setup. Vala, even if you want to have a little bit more AoE, you can combo quite a lot of there. But there's also a couple of tanks that would really work with this setup. So Malfurion is taken, and now they're very flexible on the last pick. Malfurion as expected, but they can play this with a double tank if they want to. They can, for example, bring another stunner in, they can bring another range damage in, or just drop the Tassadar. They're really flexible with the way that the draft works now. The only thing that they have to ensure is that, first of all, they're personally happy with it, and that they get something as a counter for the opponent. I mean, they have a couple of stuns, for example, against ETC, but having another hero that will really with the Mosh Pit would be nice. We've seen a couple of Anuboraks. You could think about going Anuborak here so that you have the additional stuns that can stun ETC out. If not that, I would probably use the Falstad at least so that you have the Mighty Gust to steal bosses away, to make sure that ETC is getting gusted away once he uses the Mosh Pit. Both of those heroes, I feel, would add quite a lot. If you have the Anuborak, of course, you can use Cocoon as well. But this is, once again, total personal preference at this point. I guess me personally, I would prefer the false stat, but they are running down that time pool fast, and it is the false stat indeed. Okay, solid setup for them, and 2-Arc with a very good draft. The Murloc Geniuses on the last pick with a Kerrigan. Alright, I'm liking that. Very aggressive here. Very aggressive stance. And a very cool setup for our first game, guys. So, very well done. And we're going to go into game number 1 on Cursed Hollow to find out which team is going to take the lead here. Game number 1, everybody. We are getting ready on Cursed Hollow with our first match here. Equinox is playing on Kerrigan for the Murlocs. We have Faye on Kel'Thas, Fury on ETC, Cawthon Luck on Reyna, and Matame is playing Rhaegar. To the right side of the map, it's actually Team 2-Arc, the team that brought us Cho'Gall. We have Kroan on Jaina, Elzygamer on Zagara, Insomnia on Malfurion, Traitor on Falstad, and Daemon on Muradin. If you already got a bit excited and expected a Cho'Gall here in this game, I have to disappoint you, unfortunately, today, or at least in this game, we're not seeing Cho'Gall. We are going to have a few more games with 2-Arc, so, well, depending on how the series go, we could see 2 more. So maybe it's going to be Sun Kroan after all again. And we're going to find out. Oh, Muradin, you should be very careful where you're going to walk. That looks like one of those mistakes were made situation, but yeah, he sees already what's happening, so it's all good. Talent-wise, we have some very interesting choices. We've seen a high focus, by the way, on these Iceland's talents overall in the last, yeah, I would say 2 weeks. We have on level 1 a Winter's Reach taken. Normally that means that we at least gonna see the level 7 talent. So yeah, already the lockdown. Oh, grab! Muradin jumps away. That's a very agile dwarf right there. Gimli would be proud. Thrown by Legolas, he can roughly cover the same distance, but in this game Muradin did it all by himself, jumped away from the gravity lapse. That was an important one. But as I was just about to say, usually when you have that level 1 talent, we are going to see the Icelands then on level 7 as well. That's the normal way that this goes. And it's one of the adjustments that a lot of teams have made because, well, Deep Chill got nerfed. We still see it occasionally. I mean, we've seen it today a couple of times, especially when the Bob Ross fan club was playing. Zuna took it twice. But, of course, other teams have a few other priorities there. And Iceland's or the Winter's Reach talent has become a bit more popular as a result of that as well. But, of course, there's a couple of other reasons, too. You can kite just very well with the Iceland's talents on level 7. And Winter's Reach allows you to do that from a very safe distance. So for now, the teams are starting to move straight in again. Oh, already locked down against Jaina, and the kill again. Well done. It's actually the first kill that they got since Muradin was able to escape early on. But right now they are at least able to get this one. And, well, that's the first one. If you have a Kerrigan in your composition, I mean, one of the biggest deals is just to, or one of the biggest, like, things that you want to do in the early games is to just rotate around, get your kills in, really threaten the opponent's team, force them to play passive, and just force them to stay back at their own tower so that they never really move out. Then you control the map, you can rotate, and you can take really the game from there. But, of course, level 4 early helps as well. And wow, Kel'Thas with a commitment. Look at this. He's going for gathering power. Now, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving it. Oh, there's the stun. And yes, the lockdown against Malfurion. Even with Kerrigan missing her combo, that worked. Oh, that was a pretty big spike that we had there. That was a bit weird. We had lag problems earlier, server problems actually. We had to replay an entire game because everybody was lagging out and dropped several times during the match. So I'm not quite sure if the servers are super stable today or we just had a bit of bad luck. But either way, I hope that this is not going to happen again. For now, down to the bot lane here, we're having the tribute taken by 2-Arc, so they were able to lock that down. But Murloc Geniuses are playing a very solid game, and we have on level 4 now the Frost Shards taken. So Winter's Reach into Frost Shards into Icelands, potentially. And, well, Malfurion also going for the extra range and all of his basic abilities. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Gathering Power, so let's do that. Gathering Power is now a pretty amazing talent in the sense that it's high risk, high reward. So you get a lot of maximum damage out of it. You give up Netherwind, and a lot of teams are actually not willing to do that because Netherwind is an absolutely amazing talent. It's so strong. Oh, the lockdown against Malfurion, and the Reckoning. Oh, Jaina gets body blocked and face melted. Goodbye. That's another double kill for them. 4 kills against 0, and the level 7 talents coming in with those Siege Shines also pushing the top lane. Good luck pushing that back, Zagara. Elzygamer actually, like, yeah, he's playing Zagara every time they have the hero. Sometimes they were one of the teams that played Zagara as the first pick most of the time, and yeah, that kind of worked for them. But, well, again, Gathering Power, the cool thing about it is really all that extra damage. And if you have a hero like Khaldor, you can of course dish out so much damage. The problem is really staying alive. Once that you die, then in the late game, as a Khaldor, you're never useless, right? But you still lose a lot of that extra damage, and as you don't have Netherwind, that can be sometimes a bit annoying because you don't bring more utility to your team fight either. But if you stay alive, and Faye is going to try and play as passive as possible here, then you can do amazing work in the later stage. Great stun! And the kill against Falstad again! Wow! 2Arc is getting wrecked right now. 2Arc is getting completely wrecked. I mean, that's 5 kills against 0, and we might even see Crone die now. Cool. Yeah, there's the first stun, and the second, and goodbye Jaina. Guys, this is 6 kills against 0. We're like talking about a massive amount of experience that they are already ahead, considering how early in the game we are. And they are also starting to just like kill hero after hero, go for the walls. Murlocs, the Murloc Geniuses, they are doing work right now. Level 7 talents, by the way, the Fight or Flight taken over the Revolution Overdrive. And we are having on level 1, which combos of course with that, which was the reason I was taken. Give me more, with a Feral Heart now on level 4. And as expected, the Icelands on 7 for Jaina and the Endless Creep for good old Zagara. So yeah, like what we are seeing here is a pretty interesting setup for Team Murloc Geniuses. They are super aggressive, hyper aggressive with this, and they are starting to get just kill after kill in. So very solid approach by them, going into the level 10s early. But of course, we have with Falstad the opportunity for especially 2Arc to make a comeback at any point in time, thanks to that opportunity, or like the possibility of them stealing one of those bosses. That's one of the things that they can really do here in the later stage of the game. Just go in, steal a boss with the Mighty Gust if it works out, and that can bring you back. But not if you just lose heroes the entire time. I mean, we have level 10s now versus 9. We are seeing also Reyna's Raiders taken, not even going for the Hyperion here. Maelstrom, Moshpit, Ancestral Healing, and Phoenix. And they go simply for boss, and they're going to get Tribute too. Bot lane is being pressured, but of course the only approach that we're seeing here for 2Arc is trying to get level 10. And they will hit that level. The problem is the boss is already taken. There's the levels now finally, and with level 10 we see them straight with the Mighty Gust. More, we have Water Elemental plus Tranquility and also Avatar. And at the top lane, the boss is already starting to take down structures. Tribute was of course taken by the Murloc Geniuses, and they are rotating around. Jimmy on his Vulture, by the way. Yep, looking very solid here. That Martial Reyna skill works perfectly with that. I am a fan. I'm a big fan, actually. This is looking awesome. This is like a really cool tint for Reyna. And I mean, if there's any hero out there that should look cool on a Vulture, it is, of course, Reyna. I mean, who else? Now, at this point, boss number 2 is being taken as well. Falstad not making any potential Mighty Gust plays yet. But of course he has also to be careful, there's a lot of stun and he already experienced that firsthand. But this is now pressure play against the bot lane as well. But I still have to give a bit of credit to 2Arc. I mean, like, think about it, they are 7 kills behind, right? They are still only half a level behind right now, even though they had to deal with the boss too. So the soaking efforts of them is very, very strong. I mean, they really soak quite nicely here. Muradin, yeah. He probably thought that he could jump away, but turns out that without Trader's Mighty Gust, he would have died anyways. So now we have Korthenluck moving in, Equinox, Timmy, everybody is just like darting in as we speak. And yep, there we have the next attack. Already the Hyperion, well, no Hyperion is actually not in the game, but already the boss going straight for the fort, and that's a Cursed Tribute at the top. That's a Cursed Tribute right there, and it looks like Kerrigan might be fast enough to get this, because Crone could be zoned out with good positioning here. They should be able to really zone for Kerrigan now. If they just move in over here and just block a bit, that would be all that they need. And yes, that's the curse. That's the curse. It just gets from worse to worse on the side of Team 2Arc. I mean, the thing is, the one good thing, if you want to look for something positive in all of this, is that the early curses usually don't do too much. The problem is they're still going to lose 1 or 2 forts because they're already very low in health. But with the early curse, I mean, at least they're not going to lose a keep, right? In experience, they're level behind, so they will have to soak for 13. It's not the end of the game yet. They've been doing a very solid effort with just zoning in general. But right now, of course, they had to defend against 2 bosses. They lost 3 tributes and therefore got cursed. And now, yeah, oh my god, Kel'Thas with a flamethrower. Guys, Kel'Thas did not go for chain bombs. Okay. Alrighty, so we have also Feral Lunge now taken. Look at that. we have actually Rhaegar back with damage. Rhaegar back to business. But we are seeing some very interesting talents here. So Flamethrower taken for the cast range on the Flame Strike. Still the Fission Bomb, but no Chain Bombs. Now that's a very interesting adjustment here on the side of Faye. Of course, the question that arises immediately is misclick. That's unfortunately something that we can't ask Faye now and have to ask later, but Chain Bombs on Khaldor has been the predominant talent for I don't even know how long. It's so amazing. After we lost Ignite, like all that, what you could do with it, we have not really seen Flamethrower in competitive play. The cool thing about this though is that you stay behind, and I actually believe that right now this is not really a misclick, and the reason for that is quite simple. We've been talking about that level 4 talent a lot, right? We've been talking about the Gathering Power. And with Gathering Power, you want to stay safe, and that's something that Flamethrower gives you. Yes, you don't have the Chain Bombs, and that is a problem, but with all the extra damage that you do, you should be able to make up for it. So I guess it's going to be... I really think it's a choice, because... another misclick. Simply because it allows you to stay so much farther back, and that will allow you to keep those Gathering Power stacks. And if you have those, you are in a position where you will be able to do a lot of damage anyways. But it just caters again to that high risk, high reward build in general that we have on the hero. I wonder if that's also going to bring an adjustment on level 16. But then again, Arcane Barrier is of course doing exactly what you want to do. It's giving you additional escape. Oh, lockdown against 2! And... oh, nice heal. Nice ancestral healing, keeping her alive here. The static shield taken on Falstad. Level 15 versus level 14 now. And we are having that Ice Lance. Look at that. Going in again. Frostbolt used over and over again to control Fury, especially with that water elemental. That's actually a very nice move. 2 ice blocks, and ETC is going for the party animal move, but gets dropped. They drop Falstad. Kerrigan is also dying, and yo, we could potentially see another kill here, especially against Matt Timmy. Nope. No. Or is he going to get away? Oh my god, the last hit. That last hit with the Frostbolt. Very well done. And now it's time for Reyna to maybe die as well. Faye is still alive, by the way. Faye is still alive and has that extra damage, so that is important. That's probably the most important part for them. But let's look at those experience levels again. 15 versus 15. And, well, even though it's still a 5 kill lead, we have in experience a very similar situation in the game. And now it's a 5 versus 3, or 5 versus 2 actually on the map. And that means that this boss is easily going to be taken by Team 2Arc. 2Arc is not out of this yet by any means. 2Arc is actually about to start a bit of a comeback here. So this is going to become a little bit crazy. Tribute has been taken by them as well, so they're 1 tribute away from reaching a curse against their opponent. And right now, we have already Faye, Equinox, Cottonlark, and Fury in a bush waiting for someone to rotate down here so that they can take it out. LZ Gamer is going to... oh no, he's not going to do them that favor, but lockdown against Muradin hits. That wasn't really intended, but I guess they'll take it. Top lane is still pressured, and this boss is going to start to do solid work. 16 talent, by the way. 16 any second now for both of the teams, and 2Arc is back to business. 2Arc is completely back in this. They have lost more structures, yeah, but still, they can go for the boss now, maybe even. Root already chosen, and the boss is still pushing the top lane. They go for the boss here at the bottom lane now. Keep that Falstad in mind with the Mighty Gust that can secure this position if he really wants to. 1 Mighty Gust is pushing everybody away. Boss is being attacked, level 16 talent. We have the Fury of the Sunwell, so you have the double Flame Strike, and I suppose that this is going to be pretty epic with that extra damage that they have. Mighty Gust is being used. They're trying to go for Mad Timmy. Rhaegar is not getting the ancestral healing through. Great kill here. And Faye from the back the entire time with 1 hit after another. There's a lockdown against Falstad. Oh my god, it's a triple kill. Jaina, Zagara, and also Malfury, and plus they could wipe the entire team, and they do. They will take... oh, or will they? Yes, there it is. The team wipe, and that was really well done. Giving you a bit of a damage update, Khaldor is currently at 28,000, and therefore the biggest damage dealer in the game is still. And that team wipe that we just saw now, that kind of broke the back of 2Arc. There's a tribute on the map, and this is really something where they have to react. I mean, they need to go in for this one and take the tribute, because if they don't, then they're going to be cursed. So the Murlocs are going to rotate over for it, and we're having a boss that they could go for as well. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they did not try to take the keep here. I feel like they had enough time to really push this in. They didn't have the entire team with them, but still, there was an opportunity to at least do some damage. Going for the boss now should secure that too, and they go in and move straight for the tribute as we speak. But having that talent here is really kind of fun. So it's a double flame strike that you have. You have the gathering power on level 4, so it's really a solid build that Faye has executed here. As long as she doesn't die and just stays in the back like she's been doing the entire game, it's completely fine to run this. And it's pretty fun. No arcane barrier, therefore, so they really don't go for the arcane barrier. And here comes again those flame strikes, and they start to do some damage. Well, if you hit, look how far in the back we have Faye. Faye is so far in the back right now. He's never going into any kind of like range where she can auto attack. It's all about those flame strikes. Nice approach again. ETC dashes in. The kill against Jaina. Faye super far behind. Always using that flame strike range on level 16, on level 13, and they are moving in again. Flame strike against the waves most of the time, just like zoning and just having all that safety that allows you to keep the gathering power stacks and get that extra damage in. And talking damage, we are of course going to have a closer look at that later on again, once that we are in a situation where we have like the talent around for a bit longer, because since the talent was taken, there weren't really too many fights. You didn't really see too much damage coming out of it just yet, but of course there's the fight for the boss, and that could change things completely, because 2ARC, they are apparently willing to go in with even 4 heroes. There's another tribute on the map now too. 2ARC was, I guess they were thinking about just going for a Mighty Gust. Decide against it. Falstad flying in deep though, and there's Fury. So yeah, Falstad is not going to get this one, but he can at least break the channel until the rest of the team is over there. And that's exactly what they're doing now. So Faye moves in, Murloc, Equinox, all of them are getting into position. They're all getting ready right now, starting to move in here. And there's already that Flame Strike doing a bit of work, not as much as they intended to. Murloc has to be healed, and they move them away. Alright. There's the attack once again, and nice! That Mighty Gust was great, and the lockdown with the root. Kerrigan is dead. Faye is already on the run. Rhaegar is dying too. The Maw did not catch anybody here. Couldn't really zone anything out, but whoa, this Mighty Gust was actually really nice. It was a bit of a positional mess up that we saw from the Murlocs now, and 2ARC again, not only getting that curse, but also not only getting the tribute, but also the curse. Problem is that the boss that was taken earlier already went through the keep, and Trader is now making sure that it's not going to crush that core as well. So, yep, the shield should actually take care of it. Up at the top lane, on the other hand, we're still seeing that approach, and wow, Khaldor is really starting to get some damage out there, isn't he? I mean, right now, these Flame Strike, they hit. And look at Khaldor, 41,000 damage, 42,000 damage, so very, very strong here. Still the highest damage dealer in the game. And Faye all the time, far in the back, not moving in for anything here. But the one thing that you can already tell a little bit is that the siege damage numbers are not as high on Khaldor as usual. Doesn't mean they're low, not by any means. I mean, it's still the hero with the most siege damage in the game at this point. But oftentimes, you know, with the chain bombs, how much damage you can actually dish out. So that's a little bit different here. Either way, very, very solid damage overall. And of course, if this game lasts a bit longer, which we of course hope it does, then we're going to see exactly how this is going to work out for Faye with the damage. The most important thing that she really has to take care of is that she stays alive, and she's been doing an incredible job at that. I mean, she hasn't died once yet, and that is super important. So as long as she maintains that, she will get that extra damage, and with 14 kills on the board, she's very close to get those 30% too. But that boss that is moving against them, that's an issue. Now the Bolt of the Storm is going to keep her even safer. Reyna, by the way, going straight into the Nexus Frenzy. We have a triple Bolt of the Storm on ETC, Kerrigan, and Khaldor, and a Storm Shield for Rhaegar, whereas we see 2ARC now aiming for the 20, and there they have it. So they have their level 20 abilities, the Storm abilities as well. Triple Bolt of the Storm for them too. No Nexus Frenzy. Wow, it is the Wind Tunnel. Alright, Wind Tunnel has been taken here. Pushing it back 4 times. Muradin hops back. Wind Tunnel can actually be a pretty cool talent if you are trying to push somebody in a corner, for example, so that can be really nice. But with the damage that they have, Nexus Frenzy would have been nice. Then again, they are already running 3 damage dealers. You don't necessarily need that talent, so you can really let that go. And Wind Talent helps you even more with those boss fights if you're trying to go for a boss. And later on in the game, bosses are going to be important. Keep in mind, it doesn't really matter if you go for the boss in the sense that you are going to try and steal one away. Even if you take the boss and you just like take the wind tunnel to push the opponent away, that alone is already going to help you to just make sure that it's secure and that ETC is not suddenly sliding in and takes it down as well. So that's also like a very, very important thing to note here, because that could definitely happen. If ETC gets a good shot in and like mosh pits you and your team dies and then takes the boss and the match is over. But if you have that wind tunnel that pushes them back the entire time, then you're in a very solid position for this. So, right now we have also another tribute on the map. This is not going to be a curse tribute, but can really tell how both of the teams are super, super careful. Look at Faye. Always super far in the back. I mean, never really exposing herself. And it is so difficult for anybody to just like jump in and try to like take Khaldor. Khaldor is going to hit those flame strikes 6 days to Sunday from the safe distance and is trying to zone opponents as much as he can. So once again, up at the front here, not even moving in too far, knows about the position. There's the flame strike and the second one hits as well. Great job. Khaldor needs to move back. Wind tunnel already in play. Maybe a little bit early, to be honest. We're trying to save Muradin and that worked, but still. Khaldor again using also the Phoenix here. Those damage numbers at the end are going to be super interesting. Once again, here we go, and we have an approach, a kill against Malfurion, and they're getting a massive monster mosh pit off. Oh my god, that damage. Oh, holy mother of Moses. Oh, 4 kills, and there is kill number 5. It's a team wipe again. And they just simply go for the core right now. Well faced, yeah, indeed. Khaldor's at 52,000 damage now after this last fight. Did he just jump? How much damage did he just jump? Was that 10,000 nearly? Close, right? I mean, that was solid. 52,000. Nobody is even close to that. Great game here by the Murlocs. I mean, 2ARC nearly came back, but the Murlocs a bit too strong, and that is GG and well played as the Murlocs take game number 1 in the best of 3 series here against 2ARC. Game number 2, everybody. We already have Khaldor banned out. The Murloc Geniuses apparently don't want to go up against the hero that they used to, well, a very great length in the last game to take down the opponent. 2ARC is down in the series. And they are really drafting fast, aren't they? I mean, Tyrande banned out right away. Okay, kind of makes sense, I suppose. And the Murloc Geniuses, they value Jaina highly enough to pick her first here. Okay. That allows 2ARC, if they want to go into Zagara again. They really love to play Zagara. LZ Gamer picks Zagara whenever he has the opportunity to do so, so I wouldn't be surprised to see an early Zagara here, even though the normal picks, if you want to talk about the current meta and what's really highly valued, would be something along the lines of like Uther into ETC, maybe instead of that, picking that Muradin. The problem that you have, of course, is if you pick Uther ETC, then Jaina can just like simply play also with the Muradin, so no matter what you do, that's going to happen. And there is a Zagara, as kind of expected. The Murloc Geniuses, they are in the lead, and 2ARC is still saying, hey, Zagara, she is our girl, we want to have her. And, well, maybe an ETC, maybe a Muradin. I mean, you would expect them to break up the combo, right? To break up the Divine Shield into Mosh Pit combo, just to be on the safe side. There are teams that let it go. They are absolutely okay going up against it and just say, hey, make sure that ETC doesn't get a good Mosh Pit and we're going to be fine. But that's easier said than done in a later stage of the game. And there's the ETC, combos very well with Zagara as is, and also you break up the combo. So the Murloc Geniuses with the Muradin probably. It's just like that splitting between the tanks at the beginning of the game. Uther and, I suppose, the Muradin, or what are they going to go for? But the Uther already very, very solid no matter what they take, and it is Muradin indeed. So, yeah, now that we're done with like the more standard openings, we have at the same time them starting to branch out. For 2ARC, it's really difficult to ban something out here. I suppose that you could even ban out Abathar if you're afraid that your opponent might run a Jaina copy. Abathur can also like soak experience on this map, but there's a lot of heroes that you can really ban out. I mean, if you want to go into a ban, you can ban Reyna, you can ban Tassadar, you can go into, in Europe, a ban on Sonya would be very powerful, even though 2arc would probably not ban her out, but try to pick her instead. But yeah, this is just a matter of preference of what you don't want to go up against at this point. Murloc Geniuses already have an extremely solid setup for the beginning into the game. I suppose with another auto-attack damage dealer for single target, they could do even a bit more work, and 2arc might try to deny one of those. But yeah, either way, it's going to be a priority, like a pick for 2arc where they're saying, hey, we just don't like going up against that hero. Because there's a lot that Murloc Geniuses can really do with that. They're very flexible with the rest of the draft. But it is indeed a Sonya ban. It is indeed a Sonya ban. As I said, I thought, if anything, in Europe, it would not have been a Sonya ban, but an attempt to pick Sonya away. But as Uther is there with the Divine Shield, you don't want your opponent to get her. So we have Reyna already banned out. 2arc is going to... I mean, once again, we could talk about a Malfurion here if you wanted to as the healer, since he can still apply these roots, which are for the lockdown. Very nice, but you need a bit more damage as well. Still thinking a bit about what exactly they can play in a sense to help ETC out there. They could play the poor man's Divine Shield and go into Sanctification instead and use Tyrael right now. That would be a very European thing to do. But I don't really see too much Tyrael play in North America, at least not recently. We've seen it sometimes with the Sylvanas together if you're going to go into that Sylvan, like even if into the potential Judgment into Wailing Arrow. But the combo between ETC and Tyrael is not as popular here as it is in the European scene. And I would suppose even in China, but it would still be a very good pick here. You need a damage dealer after that, but you can still play it. And would of course leave Tassadar also as the only support, which is also a bit iffy. But if you go for Proc Rock and ETC, for groupies and all those talents, and you also play a potential Tyrael with the shields, then yeah, then it would be alright. But I doubt that they're going to do it. Vala is being played here now for 2arc. That gives them a bit more AoE damage. In theory, you could also combo, of course, the Rain of Vengeance, a talent that we really, actually like barely see it at all. But you could do that if you want to have more lockdown after more, or after the mosh pit, of course. The Murloc Geniuses, they have they have a lot of options here. They could go into that Falstad after Vala has been banned out right now. Personally, I think a Sylvanas or a Falstad would probably be their best option when it comes to the additional damage that they really try to bring to the table now. If they don't go into any... that Kerrigan. This is nasty. That Kerrigan is really nasty. She already did a lot of work in the last game, and they are following it up with her again. She's even stronger with this setup than she's in the setup before. And now thinking about it, I'm actually a bit surprised that 2arc doesn't ban it out. Falstad, as I said, as the additional random damage dealer, from like range damage dealer. But I like that Kerrigan pick a lot. And 2arc would probably be well advised to go into... I would really like to see another healer, and I think Brightwing wouldn't be too bad. First of all, Brightwing can polymorph Kerrigan, unless of course she has a Divine Shield, can polymorph the Uther before he hits the Divine Shield, if you can, has the mobility to jump away with a Blink heal after level 10 when Kerrigan goes in, and yeah, Brightwing is not the most popular hero on the North American server, but with the Tassadar she can be very strong. They go into the Tyrael! They do it! They actually play the Tyrael with the Tassadar solo. They do what I've been talking about earlier. I did not think they would do it. I really believed that they would go into another support, but as I said, this can work. I explained it already earlier. Tyrael with a shield, Tassadar with a shield, go into a heal build on Tassadar, have ETC with a proc rock, or at least with groupies on 13. All that's sustained. You can play even Zagara with the rapid incubation if you want to go full ham on it, but that setup can actually work. And then you have Tyrael with a sanctification into ETC Mosh Pit. They actually play it, and it's a cool comp, it's a sweet comp. If it works against what the Murloc Geniuses have picked on the other hand, that's a completely different question, because that is strong. Anyways, the game is going to start. We have Sky Temple, and this is of course our second map. Murloc Geniuses is already in the lead here, and they go up against 2arc. Let's find out if they can take it again. The Murlocs are in the lead, everybody. Enter the storm. Their playoffs are going to go into the next game here. And well, let's check out how exactly this is going to run now. We have the left side of the map already. Team Murloc Geniuses with Equinox on Kerrigan, Matt Tibbe on Uther, Faye on Jaina today, Carthen, Luck on Falstad, and Fury on Muradin. To the right side of the map, we have LZ Gamer on... Oh, he's playing Tyrael. He's not on Zagara. Usually he's their Zagara player. I kind of like that change. Crone on Zagara now. It mixes things up a bit. Trader on Vala, Daeon on ETC, and Insomnia on Tacita. As already talked about in the draft, it is a setup that can really work, but I was really quite impressed by the aggression that we saw from the Murloc Geniuses, especially with that Kerrigan in the last game. That actually looks pretty sweet. Tyrael looks not too shabby there. That's actually looking pretty good. Kerrigan already with the aggression, but that didn't really work out. We haven't really talked about the level 1 talent on Kerrigan in the last game, but I mean, if you are watching a lot of the North American games, then of course you already know that here we have Sharpened Blades as the most popular talent, or one of the most, and that's also the talent that we see in this game here now in particular. As already evident, we have Regeneration Master for Tyrael, going probably into the Amplified Healing on level 4 to get the extra heals out there. Quite a couple of Regeneration Globe talents have been taken here. Conjurer's Pursuit on 3 heroes overall, Uther, Jaina, and Tacita. Talking Uther, he's currently on the run-up at the top lane, trying to escape here. Down to the bottom of the map, we have Equinox and Crowan in position here, trying to face each other. Well, first of all, of course, Kerrigan is going to try and put as much pressure onto Zagara as humanly possible, but Zagara is usually the queen of lanes. It's basically like, this is like the Zerg queen is right there, alright? So we have the 2 queens going up against each other. Only one queen can survive. There can be only one. And, well, personally, my money is on Kerrigan. Like, Kerrigan is a little bit more likely to win this battle. But the rotation has already happened. It makes only sense to set Falstad down to the bot lane, at least after the initial, like, roams and battles and skirmishes here. Just because you want to make sure that you have that mobility hero at the bot lane, so that if need be, with a quick fly-in, you can go straight into the middle or even up to the top shrine and secure a few of the shots for your team. And so far, well, we have up to the top. So Murloc Genius is doing a solid work. You're seeing down here already Daeon trying to get a couple of shots in for his own team. Keep of course in mind that after level 10 we're going to have that mid lane brawling situation where especially that ETC together with the Sanctification on the side of ETC can start to do quite a bit of work. So yeah, Tyrael and ETC are going to be very good friends in this game, and Tacita is going to help them out as much as he can as well. And of course, if you run a mosh pit, then you can always try to combo it off the Maw or the other way around, and you can get solid damage in. The push against the lane down to the bottom, so Zagara is doing a fair amount of work here. And in the middle, on the other hand, we're already seeing Daeon being pressured back. Slight experience lead for the blue team, so the Murlocs are doing well. But, oh, Muradin needs a bit careful here. No hits from Equinox's stun, but Daeon goes for the slide. Nice heals, Fury low, and oh, the kill against ETC. And we actually see Muradin escape. Oh, but Matt Timmy is still dying. So it's a 1-for-1 in kills. We have now also next to that the Frost Shards taken as the level 4 talent. Protective Shield here for Uther. When we're talking about the rest of the talents, we have now on the Arsenal talent taken, full multi-shot build. And I mean, on this map in particular, I'm really liking multi-shot. You can go for the arrow build, of course, as well, especially when you're fighting a lot on the temples. The arrows can be quite nice, but you have also the Guardians that can soak a few of those shots up. So multi-shot is usually pretty sweet since you have the lane push, the wave clear, and you can take it from there. We have on level 4 now the Leeching Plasma taken, so already Tacita starting to work towards that shield build that we see on him as a regular thing, especially when he's the solo healer in the team. Kala's Embrace is really the key talent when you're talking about it, so that's what we will have pretty soon. Very sweet experience lead actually for the red team here. They've been doing really well with this. This is a bit surprising that they're this far ahead all of a sudden. I guess once that the lanes are really starting to push in and those waves are being cleared, it should start to even out a bit, but they still will maintain a lead. It's 1 kill against 1, but in terms of soaking, they've been doing a bit better. Endless Creep is a level 7 talent now, and the attempt to go for LZ Gamer, but Tyrael is of course not going to fall for this one. In the mid lane on the other hand, Faye is in a bit of trouble. ETC is not going to be able to take her down, but still as long as we are on low HP, it's fine. Now over here, 7 talents now for both of them. Kala's Embrace, as already expected, has been taken. And we're seeing Carthen, Luck, and Faye starting to move straight into the mid lane again, going for that tower and bursting it down immediately. Icelands after Frost Shards, so once again a focus on the Icelands talent has really become very, very popular. You still see Frostbitten after Arcane Intellect and maybe a Lingering Chill or even a Deep Chill on level 1. But these entire like Frostbolt talents have become very, very powerful, and a lot of the Jaina players these days are taking them. Muradin down here, already in a bit of trouble. Equinox and Faye. Oh, nice lockdown. ETC stunned once, stunned twice. The Blizzard doing work, and oh my god, he actually gets away here. Tassadar with a quick shield at the end, able to make sure that he doesn't die. Fawcett, by the way, at the top lane is still pushing this back now that the temple is active. And look at that creep spread already. Very well placed, so they know exactly what's going on and where. We have the moves again. Faye, Matt, Timmy, Equinox, everybody is just like trying to get control of the shrine. And as long as they can force LZ Gamer back, I mean, he has Elduin's might. He's going to jump back eventually, but still. They have, of course, Falstad, who, by the way, moved back, is now going for well, and will fly in. So he's going to come into the battle with full HP and mana. Both of the teams still have the well up on lane, so that helps them with the sustain here. No level 10s yet in play either, and the lockdown against Zagara. One stun, and they go straight for it. Zagara is nearly falling, but she survives. Karrigan moves back. Cawthon Luck is low, and they have to go for well, and they will use that. Cawthon Luck actually, like, he is dropping fast. He got poison as well. That and Venom definitely hurt. In comes Karrigan again, but the shift on Insomnia, well done here, well played. And 2ARC is really starting to gain some momentum thanks to those shots that they've been collecting on the temple. So the rotation away from it is happening, because at this point we're just like seeing a situation for the Murloc Geniuses where they are saying, guys, if they hit 10, then we are screwed. So they just move back and just say, alright, take it easy for now, make sure that we get our level, and then our level 10, and then we can talk again. So there's a level 10 already, and with that we're having, once again, Strafe, more Mosh Pit, and I suppose that Tiro is going into Sanctification. I would be a bit surprised to see Judgment here. Yep, there's a Sanctification. Judgment would have just been weird, because it doesn't really combo off anything, and you have already a more and more plus Sanctification. It's just amazing, it's really strong, so it's definitely the best move to make here. And creep spread, by the way, I mean, just look at this down here. Creep spread everywhere. This is insane. A little bit of creep over there too, so yeah, they have a very good vision of everything that's happening here, especially when it comes to that particular boss spot here. Yeah, solid situation actually now for both of the teams that now that they established level 10, but of course still that slight lead that we see for Team 2ARC. And Maelstrom, Divine Shield, that Karrigan, she's gonna have fun. And talking about fun, whoa, there comes the Mighty Gust, and they go for ETC. Mosh Pit Party, they get Karrigan. Here comes the shield. No, ETC is down. Get wrecked, son. Well, I'm not quite sure why he used the Mosh Pit anyways. I mean, he was probably hoping that Khaldor would get his cooldown, sorry, that Tassadar would get his cooldown back and then be able to like save them, or that somebody from the top lane could rotate back down fast enough to really help him out, but ETC gone, and the Mosh Pit also no longer a threat, so that really helps. Strafe being used to just push everybody out here, and they are very low in hit points. They're extremely low right now. Fury turns around, and they're... Oh, that nearly worked out against LZ Gamer, but now there's an opportunity to drop these heroes. Sanctification being used, Mad Timmy with the Divine Shield on himself. Could have used it in Cawthon Luck or Fury, but just said, like, guys, I don't care about you at all. Me first. And I'm kidding, of course. Like, he was definitely the one that was very close to dying, so you have to make sure that he survived that. And also, he has the heals there, so he has an opportunity once the cooldowns are ready to save the rest as well. So that was definitely the right choice. But it, of course, looks always a bit funny if that Uther is suddenly like dropping the Divine Shield on himself. We have in the mid lane here still one temple. Well, it's a temple for both of them, right? So we have like one temple for each one of these guys. And over here, we already have now also the power play against those Guardians. Oh, Crone actually with a bit of disconnect there. Now that's unfortunate. They have to make sure that that is not going to last. So yeah, Crone dropped out, and we should have him back soonish. But it gives us a chance to talk a bit about what exactly is going on with the, well, first of all, of course, the damage. Because, well, we have a situation... Well, he's already back? That was fast. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so he's already back to business, and that is great for us. But still, damage, we're going to have a quick look at that. Of course, we are pretty early in the game, so it's not really too significant just yet. The level 10s have just dropped. We don't even have 13 yet. But 15,000 damage already on Jaina, 17,000 on Bala. So especially, of course, with that multi-shot build here, getting a lot of damage out during those temple fights, which is the whole reason why I go for it. Whoa, the lockdown against LZ Gamer. Again, Sanctification, and he jumps away. That was a close call here. And LZ had to waste his ult, but still they are alive. The problem is that Zagara is getting locked in again. But they are able to move away. Look at these heroes. They're all so incredibly low. Shields are being dished out like candy by Tassadar. Thanks to the Kala's Embrace, he's able to keep everybody alive here. But now level 13 is in play. Fury. Oh no. Oh my god. Fury, no. He's down. They kill Faye. Or they will. And for a second it looked like they might be able to get Matt Timmy too. Level 13 talent. They might actually get him now. Now that Frost Shot is in play. Yep, there's the Fell Smelt and it's a triple kill. Yeah, Frost Shot coming in as a level 13 talent just in time to slow Uther down. Gives ETC a chance to just like slide in again. And guess what? It is boss time. It's time for the boss and they go straight for it. Groupie's taken now on level 13. That was a given. Mutalisk, the imposing will, Prescience. And of course, well, loudspeakers in case you haven't seen it yet for the extra male face melt knockback. So that's pretty cool too. Very, very solid situation. Level 13 talent for the opponent as well. And we have Icy Veins. More cooldown reduction for Jaina. That's going to help. It's going to be the Frostbolt machine gun build. And we have also Shrink Ray. We're seeing Muradin going into the extra damage. Muradin actually like going into the damage mostly because he wants to get rid of those creep tumors. That's actually one of the main reasons why Muradin decided to go into the Burning Rage here. Trying to get rid of the creep tumors here as fast as you can. And he just has to walk in, and that's going to be very important. Falstad going straight into the Giant Killer. Standard talent 13. We see it, like, sometimes when we're talking about the NA scene, we see some adjustments, but not a lot. There comes the attempt. ETC. Are they going to move in? Already the Divine Shield on Kerrigan. And Falstad had to use the Mighty Gust to push them away here. Oh, Muradin. Fury is really living life on the edge, isn't he? I mean, that was so close. He could have died there if somebody just, like, coughed at him. That would have already been the end of it. But now the boss is moving in the bot lane, and they want more than that. 2-Arc is starting to go in. ETC was for a second attempting to just like push them out, but they get the kill against Kerrigan regardless. Very well done. The boss is down, but it looks like this keep might fall after all, since there's also another Siege Giant Cap right behind them. And yes, that is the first keep of the game. Solid lead also for 2-Arc. We might actually see our first best of 3 series here today that goes into the third game. So far we had 2 2-0s. And of course there's another temple up at the top lane, so you can take that too. They seem to go straight for another camp though first. And with Kerrigan still dead, I mean there's of course no real rotation happening. Yeah, Muradin is already going to hunt down creep tumors, and he should. I mean, Zagara has been doing an incredible job throughout the entire game putting those creep tumors down. The vision that they have on the map is absolutely crazy, and Muradin is now finally in the position where he can do something about it. And hell, it's about time. Let's be honest, because if this is like a legal map hack that Zagara was able to provide the team with. Level 16 talents, so that should be also a temple that they get right now. Fury is currently riding on his wolf here, but not for much longer. There's the Blood for Blood on level 16. The Holy Ground has been taken. We're also seeing now the Echo Paddle. Tassadar. I guess that Muradin would have been able to jump away from this one eventually, but still, like, that force wall was just like half a second too late. Rotation is happening, and they are stealing the camp away. So yep, Dimensional Warp has been taken now on level 16 after the Prescience, and we're seeing the Echo Paddle also used, and of course the Brute expansion after the Mutalisk. But yeah, they don't even go for the camp, so at this point they're just like waiting it out. No Camporinos just yet. Top lane pressure, by the way, thanks to, first of all, good old LZ soaking the rest of the shots, and as you can see, that's dropping basically the entire wall here. Only the keep is still surviving. In the mid lane, at least, they still have all the structures around, but still, this is starting to become a very annoying situation. I don't know why they didn't even take this one. I mean, they didn't have LZ with them, so that was... they probably didn't really want to run into a fight, but it would still have worked for them. They have the level 16 talent, so they could have worked. They could have tried to burst it away. Now we're having on level 16 the Northern Exposure over the Numbing Blast taken. Hammer time, of course. We're seeing for Kerrigan Blood for Blood. Basically, it's her version of Blood for Blood. It's called Essence for Essence. And in this case, you still get a big shield and from max health. So yeah, get a pretty big shield, and you also like deal a bit of damage. So yeah. In this case, it's just like her version of the talent. Already the attempt to move in. No benediction, by the way, for Uther. Went into the hardened focus instead, and oh my god, Kerrigan again. Equinox! Oh, that's the kill right there. That's the kill. Forcer was trying to zone them out, but down here it looks like we might see Faye fall again. It's only the first kill, but Zagara is already moving in, and they're going for Jaina, and they're going to secure that kill, yeah. ETC was extremely close to dying himself, but they are able to make this work, and with that they cannot push even top lane if they wanted to. They already have one camp that is pushing here, so why not just like go in, try to take that, and go straight for keep number 2. You have already a 5 versus 3 situation in the game. There's just absolutely no reason why you wouldn't move in and take this one. Crone is again dropping. Not quite sure if they really care just now. Yeah, he's back into the game already, so apparently the server's still a bit tricky here today. We had problems earlier. Oh, nice, Mighty Gus. That buys enough time. That actually buys enough time, but are they going to get the keep? It looks like it. Yeah, the keep falls. So the keep falls is already dead, and now we're having also 2 more temples on the map. And guys, with 2 more temples, it means that if the keep in the mid lane now falls as well because they take both of the temples, then of course this is more or less a checkmate position. If you have no structures left, the temple alone is going to obliterate their core. And at this point, they're dishing so much damage out against these structures, even with Tacita only taking the top. Once the last few structures are gone, this is more or less checkmate. 2Arc is playing a great game here against Murloc Geniuses, and it's the 2-level lead that they have on top of that too. I mean, it's not only that they take all these structures, like this is the final fort, by the way, that has finally been eliminated. So it's not like the Murloc Geniuses are in any way close to starting a comeback here. For a comeback, they need a team wipe. They need a team wipe and do a lot more than they're already able to, because this one is going to fall. This is going to eliminate the keep, and this means that once that we're seeing temples again on the map, it's more or less checkmate. You can either go for a backdoor, especially if you have level 20, or you can just like fight for a temple. No matter what you do, you're going to be in a great spot, and there's the boss to consider as well. And currently the boss is being attacked by Team Murloc Geniuses. It's a desperation move. This is a Hail Mary. They're saying like, hey, if we don't even get that, we're screwed. In comes Tyrael, and he takes it away. Holy ground has been taken, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be game. Jaina is down, so is Uther. Kerrigan is going to fall, and they're going to take the rest of the team apart as well. Nobody is dying here. Fury is rushing away, and yep, that is going to be it. Falstad is dead as well. The boss already moving in, and we are going to see a 3rd game between these 2 teams. Fury, I'm sorry, dude, but you alone will not be able to make this defense happening. It's just not going to work. Level 20 talents. We even have the death metal now taken. Not that it matters, but actually it mattered for the boss push, but not much more than anything else. This is a 1-1 situation in the game. Great job here by 2Arc, and they are able to claim victory on Sky Temple and force map number 3. GG and well played. Towers of Doom, guys, is going to be the 3rd map, so we're seeing towers again, and 2Arc bans out the Abathur. There's a couple of reasons why you really want to ban out the Abathur. First of all, you can of course channel those altars, and that is extremely cool. It's very, very powerful. And keep in mind that they also would like to get either Tyrande or maybe even that Kel'Thas. That's at least usually how these drafts run. So if you ban out both of them, then you're never going to get one of them. So Murloc Geniuses, they probably ban Tyrande. That allows 2Arc, if they want her to go, or him, to go into Kel'Thas. But they have been playing a lot with Zagara, and they are one of the teams that seem to favor Zagara over any other hero at this point. So they could go for that again. On the North American server, she is extremely popular, and she is very powerful for sure. But there's also the opportunity to go into a Kel'Thas right now, and Towers of Doom is, of course, a bit of a different map that we have there for sure. The Murloc Geniuses, they have won the first one, which was, by the way, with a very cool build on Kel'Thas. I mean, we had the Flame Strike taken here. Flamethrower on 13, going into like even the Gathering Power on level 2, level 4, and that was just absolutely incredible. Faye played a very cool match there, very passive, and always just like trying to stay in the back so that the Gathering Power stacks would not be lost. 2Arc indeed with the Kel'Thas, and immediately the pick on Zagara from the Murloc Geniuses, knowing of course fully well that 2Arc love to play the hero and would take him in later on, but that Zagara and Jaina composition has not been picked, which has a few months ago actually been like one of the most dominant ones, and it is back to business. I mean, Jaina being picked here by the Murloc Geniuses. When you look at the North American scene and also the Chinese, this hero is still very, very strong. Europe oftentimes lets Jaina go completely. She feels a little bit weaker to most of the European players. It just showcases again that different servers have completely different metas right now. Or at least there are similarities, but in the way that the talents are being picked and also the rest, there are still a lot of differences. Uther maybe as the next pick here for 2 arcs, since they could run the ETC and Uther combination. We have Zagara plus Jaina already making the entire setup for the Murloc Geniuses quite scary, which also, by the way, means that they let Muradin go. So we could see a ban on Muradin to deny them that tank at the front line. And this is already shaking the entire draft up. And 2 arc is doing something very different. They're saying, we're not going to go for Uther here. We're actually going to pick Muradin, and then we still can ban Uther out. This is getting a bit nasty. Tassadar already banned out, first of all. 2 arc with a double warrior front line, and they themselves can now really feel... First of all, they have to really decide, do we want to ban Uther, yes or no? You can let Uther go through. The question is really, what else do you ban out? Zagara and Jaina, you could run this theoretically, even with the Sylvanas, that would add quite a bit as well. But you could ban out a tank. And if you ban a tank at this moment, where you already took Muradin and ETC, you force your opponent into a pretty nasty situation. They don't want to do that, though. They are trying to ban out even more damage. And in this case, it's Reyna that they are trying to get rid of. He, of course, can just like burst down any kind of structures with Cyperion quite easily. And if you have that Zagara and Jaina set up already, there's a lot of nasty stuff that you can do if you have the damage behind it as well on point. And that's what they're currently trying to get rid of. Reyna has been a constant pick throughout the entire tournament, and especially like in the playoffs here, he has been sometimes very highly prioritized. The Murloc Geniuses, first of all, they could go into, again, that Malfurion. We've been talking about Malfurion a lot. We've seen him a lot. He is very nice against Kalthas, but their Uther is still around. I'm pretty sure that if not for the Uther available being here, they would have gone into the Malfurion instead and would have used Malfurion to just like use that route after more. They can play this, by the way, with a Divine Storm. We have seen the Divine Storm earlier today already, and if you have that more, you can use a Divine Storm in this case over the Divine Shield. But they still have the option to go even into a melee assassin with this setup, and if they do that, then of course we're going to see the Divine Shield. 2 arc on the other hand, they need a bit more damage. We could once again see Falstad or Vala. Both of the heroes are definitely possible here. When it comes to the heals, then I suppose that we might even see a Karazim right now. I would actually like to see a Karazim with this setup. They already have a front line where they have 2 heroes that are melee, 2 warriors. So Karazim with this would work quite well. And then again, they have the Kalthas, that's also pretty solid, but they need a bit more damage. They definitely need damage, and you can now argue, do you want to have the Falsa, do you want to have the Vala? Both of them would be completely viable. You could go into, Sylvanas here. We could talk Sylvanas at this point. If you really want to go into the silence, you can use Sylvanas. She can dish out a lot of damage. She's extremely popular these days again. It's really all a matter of what's your personal preference. Karazim as the heals, as I said, I would prefer it here myself. I really like that they go into this particular pick. And now for the extra damage, they have 3 choices in my personal opinion. And yeah, this is going to be pretty sweet. Personally, I think that a Vala would be quite nice. Falstad has more of the on-point damage. If you want to have a bit of AoE, then Vala would probably be the better choice. And it is going to be the Vala. I like it, for reasons mentioned. So if you have that mosh pit and you get like not only the multi-shot with the arsenal in, but then also the auto attacks, that's pretty cool. Strafe as well. So I like the setup that they're running. The Murloc Geniuses at the same time, as I said, I could see a melee assassin here. You could play this with a Thrall if you wanted to. Helps you against the ETC with the Sundering as well, once that he uses his mosh pit. A Tyrael would work as well. You could use Tyrael here, definitely. And yeah, there's a couple of other choices, of course, when we're talking about tanks in general. But I would like to either see, personally I would like to either see a Thrall or Tyrael. And I feel Tyrael would maybe even be a bit of overkill considering that there's already an Uther in this setup. But you can use him as a bit of a counteract to ETC. But then again, Divine Shield works for that quite well too. That setup would really cater towards the second frontliner, and that's where melee assassins usually come into play. We've seen Thrall played a lot in the recent past, and I would like it. Alright, Daddy is home. Zagara more into Precision Strike. Kel'Thas getting sniped, gathering power on level 4. The potential to... Boys. Okay. Hell yeah. I'm gonna take it. Give me 2. Nova in the last game on Towers of Doom. Guys, this is gonna be good. I'm liking this already. This is gonna be a fun game. High risk, high reward play. The Murloc Genius. They go for the balls to the walls play. They have the balls of steel and they put them on the table. Nova is in business and we are gonna jump into this game right away. I am so ready for this. Towers of Doom and Nova. Last map in the game between Murloc Geniuses and Tuark. Guys, here we go. Alright guys, we have something special here. I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be good either way. I mean, we have the third map already between the Murloc Geniuses and Tuark, and we have a Nova in play. We have so much cool stuff happening here. We are on Towers of Doom, and to the left side of the map we have Equinox on Nova for the Murloc Geniuses, Matt Timeh on Uther, Faye on Jaina, Fury on Johanna, and Corthan Luck is playing Zagara. Potential more into Precision Strike. And to the right side of the map, Insomnia and Karazim for Tuark, Elzigamer on Vala, Daon on ETC, Krone on Kelthas, and a Trader is playing Muradin. And guys, there's a lot of stuff to talk about already. Personally, I really thought that we would see a Thrall in this game, because Thrall would have been perfect as the last pick with this composition that's being played. Also, of course, with the additional potential to just use Sundering against the Mosh Pit. It would have been a great pick here with a Divine Shield. I did not see that Nova coming at all, and I'm not quite sure how exactly she fits into that comp. I mean, she can execute a lot of pressure against Vala and Kelthas, but Vala can go into a Spell Shield on level 13, and Kelthas with that Arcane Barrier later on is definitely in a position where he can negate quite a bit of the damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how Nova is going to come through with this, but more into Precision Strike could be extremely powerful here. So let's find out together how this is going to work out. Especially curious is what it's going to be the level 4 talent. Will we see that Gathering Power? I feel we definitely should. Gathering Power seems to be one of the things that you have to run with the Nova right now. It's high risk, high reward play. We've been talking about it a lot. If you die, you're more or less useless. But still, we are in a situation where it's really time for high risk, high reward plays here. I mean, this is the third game in the winner bracket, round of 8. So you want to win this. You want to make sure that you're actually getting the play out of this one. So for now, Nova is coming into action and putting a lot of pressure actually against ETC up here the entire time. Equinox just getting a bit of damage in now and then. Level 1 talent, of course, the Ambush Snipe. I mean, pretty much the standard talent has been for ages. So in case you're not really quite familiar with Nova builds, this is the build that has been used when every time then Nova came into play, at least on level 1 here. Of course, a few things have changed with the Gathering Power, but overall, this is really the build to go for. And I love this Master Skin, by the way. I'm really liking the Nova Master Skin. I find it a bit awkward to see her on a unicorn, but yeah, I mean, she is a sexy lady, so she is riding in style here no matter what the mount is. We have, in terms of builds, again, composite arrows. And the only thing that I find about, not weird about the composite arrows, but the only thing that is a bit iffy, is that later on level 13 with the composite arrow build, you kind of are, you really try to go into that level 13 talent, which is going to be that Frost Shot. The problem is if you take that, then you can't go Spell Shield, and Spell Shield is more or less a must-have against the combo where you are running against a Nova plus Jaina. So I'm curious to see what exactly Elzigamer is going to do on this turn. But we have a lot of awesome stuff happening here. We're going to talk about any second, but it looks like we might see a kill against ETC. Not quite, but Matt Timeh gets away. That multi-shot is not hitting him, even with a composite arrow range increase on level 1. But now with the dash, Insomnia is rushing away here. He took on level 4 Foresight, which is awesome. Great adjustment. And ETC is down, so we have, at least for now, the Murlocs with that first altar that they're channeling. Adjustment on the side of Kelthas, and I really love it. Foresight allows you to just use that reveal, and every time when you're up against a Zeratul with a Charism, every time that you're up against a Nova, this is the talent that you really want to go for. It's the one adjustment that you make with your build at this point in time. You can also then on level 13 make a bit of an adjustment with the normal Relentless, that is like the standard talent you could go into a Spell Shield, but still, this is one of the things that's very cool to deal with invisible heroes. Gathering Power has been taken, by the way, so already we have 1 stack at this point. That's 2 extra% of damage that you have. As we said before, it's high risk, high reward, since you are in a situation... Oh, did we see a second kill? No, Elzigamer is, in this case, moving away. Keep in mind, by the way, it's not only kills. You don't have to directly kill a target. It's completely alright if you get an assist on it. So in the old system, it would have been a normal takedown that you get. You participate in a takedown, and therefore you get those 2 extra points. Very important to note, since quite a few people actually think you need to actually kill the target, which is not the case. Up at the top lane, bit of an attempt here by the double tank to take initiative and maybe like take her down here. A lot of vision on the map now in general, thanks to Zagara. And the Suicide Squad is already rushing in. Level 7 talent, the anti-armor shells have been taken. And, well, we have for now Traitor in the mid lane, jumping away in time. Crowan drops. And that's actually pretty cool for us, because we can talk about these builds a little bit. We have now Frostbitten taken. We have Snowstorm as well. So, pretty solid moves here. Pretty old school, actually. And apparently Crowan already back. So, these disconnects that he's having are very short, don't really give us a lot to talk about in the meantime. We have again Wave of Light plus the Boundless Conviction taken. It's actually pretty cool if you're also trying to snipe someone every now and then with an Uther. At least you can. We've seen an Uther kill with this earlier on today already. We have now also Endless Creep taken, and Endless Creep, of course, I mean, the talent is just absolutely amazing. You get amazing vision on the map. Zagara is going to try to just like slowly creep forward and get even more vision here. Nice damage against LD Gamer, and Equinox went too deep for this one. That's a problem. Stacks gone already, and of course it's a pretty annoying situation if you end up with an altar spawning on the map, or 2 of them, and you are already down 1 hero. It's another 10 seconds until Nova is back, and that is going to be quite a bit annoying. Already they move in, and here's Daeon up at the front. Level 7 talents for both of the teams. Loudspeakers again, but ETC is down. Great play here actually on the side of the Murloc Geniuses. A 5 versus 4 situation against them, but they're able to make this work. 1 altar was already claimed, and both teams now with an altar, so the shots are literally fired. But we have, in terms of core hit points, or core points, a lot more, well, 4 more now on the side of Team Murloc Geniuses. Khaldor's eliminated up at the top, and again, Nova was part of the kill. They're trying to go for LZ Gamer too, but they don't get him. So currently, she has a few stacks there remaining. Again, only 2 at this point, 2%. We have Conviction taken, Amplified Healing on the level 4 talent for Johanna. Not going into the Eternal Retaliation or into the Laws of Hope, which have, of course, been 2 very nice alternatives. I'm still very, very eager to see what we're seeing on level 13 for the talents for 2 Arc, because the adjustments that they could make with the spell shields against especially Nova, they are going to be extremely important. Level 10 abilities, as predicted already, more into Precision Strike with the Blessed Shield available and Divine Shield plus the Ring of Frost. That can do a whole lot of work, and this is what they're going to try and dish out. Level 10 versus level 9. Nice! There's the kill. No Nova around to get that additional like takedown, but still, that was very well done. That range should not have been enough. So yeah, job well done here already on the side of the Murloc Geniuses. So far their comp is working out. I mean, look at this level. We're talking level 11 versus level 9, 6 minutes into the game. So they've been doing really well here. 4 kills against 1. Nova putting pressure on lanes. Even with a foresight that we have on Karazim, it's an issue. And now the altars are ready again. And we have 2 altars on the map. So that's additional 8 shots that you can power out now. Since none of those towers have been taken yet. So already at the bot lane, Matt Timmy in position. Nova just moving around. Apparently, yeah, just like looking if she can maybe get a shot in somewhere. Another camp has been taken, which is also quite important, starting to push the lane here. Altars spawn in 3, and everybody is already down to the bot lane. Even talents now. Divine Palm has been taken. Of course, against this setup, you really want to have some kind of like panic button that you can use. Mosh Pit, Stray, Phoenix, and Avatar, and here we go. But the Mosh Pit interrupted. No good timing between that, and yeah, that didn't work out. Oh, Traitor is about to fall, and they get the kill against Johanna. Divine Palm on Karazim, saving himself here, but it's a kill against Vala too. Faye is about to die here, but no, she gets healed. Matt Timmy is in position. Equinox is now also, moving in again, I wanted to say, and try to get a kill here, and he nearly does, by the way. But already down to the bot lane, we have Jaina getting the shots. And yep, that's of course the damage right to the core. And we see the second wave incoming as well. Great play here by Team Murloc Geniuses. They are actually looking very strong here right now. 36 against 24, level 12 versus 10, 7 kills overall. Nova is getting the extra damage now slowly and steadily. She needs to play safe here, and that's exactly what she does. Nice damage, half HP on ETC nearly instantly. The top lane, of course, with Fury and Faye now trying to secure themselves another set of mercenaries to like get this in even more. Just to give you a bit of an idea of the damage, it's very early in the game, doesn't really say too much just yet, but already 21,000 damage on Nova. On point damage, of course, at that, and we have 20,000 on the side of Zagara. So yeah, these two heroes are definitely driving the game now on the side of the blue team. And they go in, oh, with a precision strike miss, 2 ults missed on Kalthas, wow. They just shot 2 ults at Kalthas and they still did not kill him. Unfortunately for them, a bit of a problem there. So not really the best coordination that we could have seen. Level 13 talents now in play. ETC. Oh, they nearly killed him, but we have Muradin now also in the middle of things, and they are starting to move in as we speak. Adjustments once again made. I really like this. They are very flexible in their builds. We have now the Stormfront taken for the extra range on the Blizzard. Faye, in general, when she's on one of those 2 spell mages, she really loves to go into the range talents. Earlier already, we had that Flame Strike talent going into that and trying, of course, to attempt to just like stay far in the back. And we have a very similar situation again. Not quite as reliant on the level 4 talent where Kalthas chose Gathering Power, but yeah, the Flamethrower made even more sense. But right now, just using that range to stay in the back with Jaina and being in a pretty safe spot there. Of course, the lethal decoy taken as the level 13 talent here. Hold your ground for Johanna. Mutalisk once again for Zagara. So overall, a pretty solid build there. It just allows to stay in the back, and especially with a single tank, it kind of makes sense. Nova is starting to move up to the top. Should be a bit careful here. There's of course a full push that we already saw happening. Bot lane is pressured by the camp. At the same time, ETC goes up against Mad Timmy. There is another altar on the map. They have 13 talents now, but ETC is in a bit of trouble. Can they move in time? Nova with the damage and the precision strike. Goodbye. And more damage. 2% additional damage for Equinox in them. There we have it. Already 1 spell shield, 2 spell shields taken. Chain bombs now for Kalthas. ETC could go to the spell shield as well. If he doesn't want to go into groupies, Spell Shield would be a good idea since he is being attacked a lot during these fights. Va decided to use multi-shot talent over the Spell Sheet still. LZ Gamer, Divine Power, and they kill against... They are getting wrecked right now. This is a great game from the Murloc Geniuses. They have all this damage on Nova already, and it really helps, and they're starting to destroy those towers too. Of course, they lost one up at the top lane, but they already took the one in the middle and the one up at the bottom. They can go now straight for the... they go for the boss. They go for the boss. That's extra shots right there. ETC, by the way, went into the Showstopper. Showstopper taken, also an interesting talent. No spell shield for him, and already the shots fired against the core. And that, of course, means that it's going to drop down to 16 points. 15, actually. 15, my bad, sorry. So, yeah. Multi-shot, I find this is very brave, going into the first shot. Yeah, I totally understand it. I mean, it is what you want to do when you go into a multi-shot build in general, but it's still a very, very brave choice, no question. With that Nova being around, and at this point, the biggest priority really needs to take her down. Crippling shot has been taken, towers are upgrading, and more importantly, the tunnels are now opening so that you can go straight into the middle of the map. We're having Hardened Focus now also taken, Northern Exposure. Johanna, let's see what she's going to go for. Extra Sustain would probably be a good choice. Shield Glare talent here is available. 2 of the altars are on the map, and Johanna is still not taking her talent. We're going to have a closer look at that later. But for now, 30,000 damage on Nova. And Nova is getting another 2,000 damage just by these 2 shots that she just got in. So yeah, that's 2,000 additional damage right there. She has incredible power now. With 9 kills overall in the game already, she is at enough damage to really threaten this setup. Equinox is a bit low. There comes the precision strike. He has to work on those a little bit. Not really enough damage with the precision strikes just yet. The altar is actually going to be channeled. Nope, yep, just in time. Nice altar channel, so a bit of damage done. Now finally they get some damage in. Not too much because they don't control too many temples. They only control 3 towers, and that is 5 towers that are starting to shoot now against this one. The core is starting to lose more and more hit points, and really time is running out for 2orc. They are down to 10 points. We have the Shield Glare talent, as already hoped for, taken. A Holy Renewal. Nova moving in, again with the damage. But Muradin is able to get away. 16 versus 16 talent, and that gives us now the Stone Skin as at least a compromise on Navala to make sure that she can kind of negate the damage a little bit on the side of Nova. Nova moves in again. Another great shot there. Arcane Barrier, Stone Form taken. Of course, the Circle of Life, and ETC is going into Echo Paddle. The damage, 39,000. Nobody is coming even close, and so far Equinox is playing really well. Oh, another great hit, and Kelthas is down. Jaina gets the Divine Shield. Vala with a strafe. ETC with a mosh pit, making them dance, baby. Nova is not in there though, and Insomnia is about to fall. He goes down. Kelthas is dead. Karazim is dead, and they might even get another kill here. Not quite, but they still do the damage. And we have 47,000 damage now on the side of Nova. Yeah, and there's quite a few missed precision strikes as well. If those are being hit too, then Equinox is going to have even more damage. Just look how everybody's just rushing away, afraid that another snipe is going to take them down. Great play here, and this Nova is really coming through for the team. As I said earlier, I expected Thrall. I think Thrall would have been an amazing pick, but this Nova pick is really coming through for them right now. This Nova pick is making the life of Team 2 Arc a living hell. Already the tunnels are being used straight into the middle of the map, and this could be game. This could theoretically be game. If they get both of these altars, then it's GG, then it's over. This is like all that they need. The 2 altars, and it is complete, like it's going to be the 2-1 victory if they get it. And already, Muradin is already at less than half HP just by Nova moving in and dropping a couple of shots here. And she is channeling the first altar. Everybody else is going to move down to the bottom. Guys, this could be it. This is 5 additional points already against them. And yep, there we go. Pam, 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 pam. All of those hit, and they hit hard, and now this is the fight that really matters. At this point, they have to commit. 2ARC has to commit to this one as much as they can, and Trader is already nearly dead. Trader is nearly dead already. The damage here, the talents, I mean, this is absolutely insane. They can't move back. They have to stay here. There's nothing else that they can do. Faye is going for the channel. Nova's at 54,000 damage already. She moves in again with another great snipe. The Phoenix is not going to do anything here. They're just trying to zone, but in the long run, this is going to be their fight. This is going to be really good. Nova is going to start moving in again for a little bit of damage against LZ. LZ! Oh, they condemn ETC, but Nova is not hit. And oh my god, that precision strike against ETC. 61,000 damage on Nova, and she's not stopping. She just continues, and Equinox channels the altar. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is game, and GG already called. 2ARC is losing this match, and we have Murloc Geniuses advancing in the winner bracket of the End of the Storm North America playoffs. GG, well played. Good job.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG and the end of another series here on Khaldor TV with Heroes of the Storm. So once again, we have another video finished, and I hope that you enjoyed the commentary and that you liked the game, of course, as well. It was a pleasure casting the match for you. And if you guys really enjoyed it, then make sure that you give that video a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, feel free to do that too. If you have friends that are interested in Heroes of the Sports esports scene, then definitely recommend the channel to them, or just show them the video if they want to see like a bit how the pros are drafting here, especially of course when it comes to the North American scene, European scene. And I mean, these days we even have a couple of Chinese games on the channel here, so I hope that you enjoy that as well. That being said, thank you very much for watching again. I'm going to see you guys next time with more Heroes of the Storm content here on the channel. Have a great day and enjoy your week, and see you soon. Bye bye.